The Bond and Sukuk Information Exchange, or BIX, makes it easy to search for all the information you need on bonds and sukuk. In this video, we'll cover some of the basics on selecting the right bonds or sukuk to invest in, and show you how to do so using BIX's advanced search function before transacting with your banker. Let's get started. You'll want to ensure the bond or sukuk you choose has a low probability of default and gives you the highest possible yield. To get the best search results using our tool, customize it by defining your set of criteria. At the BIX homepage, scroll to the top right. Click on BIX Tools for the drop-down menu and select BIX Search. Once you're in the search page, you can choose to view bonds or sukuk, or both, by checking the boxes accordingly. Next, click the drop-down menu under Rating and select Government Guaranteed. Then, click the drop-down menu under Last Traded Date and select Last 3 months to narrow down your search to bonds and sukuk that were traded recently. Next, under Yield to Maturity, specify the minimum rate of return you are willing to accept. You can manually enter a range, or simply move the button along the scale to your desired rate. Let's assume your preferred minimum yield is 4.5%. Check the box to manually enter your range. In the low column, type in 4.5. You can leave the high column blank. Now that you've specified your search criteria, click the search button and a list of available bonds and sukuk that match will be displayed. Click on the last traded yield column twice to sort the yield from highest to lowest. Once you've identified a bond or sukuk to check out, you should look into its important characteristics, including its callability, credit quality, rating movements, and covenants. Let's select this Dana Infra Sukuk as an example. Its last traded yield is at 5.1%, priced at 101 ringgit and 18 cents. Click on the sukuk's name to access its security information page. Once you're in, click on Trading Activities to gauge the fair price of the sukuk. Here, you can monitor the yields traded at the various trading dates displayed. If you are investing in this security until maturity, you can calculate its total return by clicking on the calculator icon located next to the sukuk's name. Once you're in the BIX calculator page, fill in the settlement date column as T plus 3 days. For the nominal value column, let's assume you plan to invest 100,000 ringgit. Next, choose either yield to maturity or price as your target. We'll go with yield for this example. Key in the indicative last traded yield. The actual yield that will be traded will depend on the market price on the day of the transaction. Once done, click the Calculate button. The price displayed under the Clean Price column refers to the price of the sukuk or bond without the accrued profit or interest. Next, calculate the total return. Let's assume that you can reinvest the proceeds of the profit or interest at the 1-month FD rate of 3.25% and invest this sukuk until maturity. Key in these details in the green columns. Then, click on Calculate to get the total return figure. The total return considers all 3 sources of return, namely coupon interest, interest on coupon interest, and any capital gain or loss over an investment horizon. A bond or sukuk's credit ratings can also change over time, so it's a good idea to monitor the ratings of any bonds or sukuk you own. If an issuer's credit rating goes up, the price of its bonds and sukuk will rise, and vice versa. Let's go back to the BIX search page. Under Rating, click the drop-down menu and choose Rated, Mark, and RAM. Next, under Yield to Maturity, manually enter 4.75 in the low column and leave the high column blank. Then, under Rated, move the button on the rating scale from the right side to AA-. This will narrow down your search to investment-grade bonds with the recommended rating between AA- to the super safe AAA. Next, under Last Traded Date, click the drop-down menu and choose Last Month. Click on Search to display the securities as defined. Just like before, click on the Last Traded Yield column twice to sort the yield from highest to lowest. Let's assume you like this utility sukuk that was last traded at 4.93% and matures in 2038. Click on this sukuk's name to go to its security information page. Once you're in, click on Rating Movements to view the sukuk's Rating Movements report. To check for any callability for this issuance, click on Redemption to see if there are any call schedule dates. If there are no results found, then there's no need to worry that there will be early repayment by the issuer. But if there are dates displayed, it means that the issuer is allowed to repurchase the sukuk on those specified dates at the call price, which is usually at 100 ringgit. A callable bond or sukuk gives the issuer the right to return your principal and stop coupon or profit payment before the bond or sukuk's maturity date. For example, a bond maturing in 2038 can be called in 2023 or 2026. If you purchase the utility sukuk at 100 ringgit and 68 cents and then have to sell it back for 100 ringgit, you'll incur a capital loss. To avoid this, ensure the bond or sukuk that you plan to purchase has no call feature. If there is one, the purchase clean price must be below 100 ringgit. For announcements on this security, scroll over News and Announcements at the top of the page bar and select Announcements from the drop-down menu. Type in the name of the sukuk's issuer in the Issuer Name column and click Search. You'll see a list of various rating announcements that may be relevant to the security you're looking at. You can click on the announcement title to read more on the credit rating agency's rating rationale. It's also crucial for you to familiarize yourself with a bond or sukuk's covenants. These are legally binding terms of an agreement between the investor and the issuer designed to protect both parties' interests. Covenants are particularly important when it comes to lower credit bonds. They list the responsibilities borne by the issuers, such as timely payment, the amount of coupons payable, the maturity date, and any call provisions. Positive or affirmative covenants stipulate what the bond issuer must do according to the agreement. Negative or restrictive covenants forbid the issuer from undertaking certain activities. A bond trustee monitors the issuer's compliance with the covenants and takes remedial action if they are not followed. Let's go back to the earlier utility sukuk example. To access its covenants, click on Related Documents and Financials in its Security Information page. You will see a list of documents. Click on the file name for Principal Terms and Conditions to download the file. In it, you'll find details on the information covenants, positive covenants, and negative covenants on pages 6 to 8. Sometimes you may be interested in a bond that's newly launched in the market. Let's assume it matures in 10 years and is rated AA. Because this bond is not yet traded, you won't know its yield and price. But BIX's search function can help you get an estimate by looking at comparable bonds. Simply do a search for existing bonds with the same tenor and rating as this new bond. Specify the criteria like how we showed you earlier, and the results displayed will give you an indication of the yield and price level you should expect from the new bond. The search function provides transparency in the price discovery process, which ensures that you won't be trading in the dark. We hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to help. Simply drop us an email through the Contact Us page on our website. Thanks for watching.